Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So for today, it is March, so you know what that means. I want to share with you all my top picks for spring eyeshadow palettes. So if you want to see a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes, then please stick around for today's video and make sure you are subscribed before leaving today. Let's start off with the palette On My Eyes. It's very new to my collection. This is from Gourmand Girls Cosmetics. They did a collaboration with Steph's Beauty Stash. This right here, it means new life. I don't want to butcher it. I'm so happy for Steph. I know, like, I've been waiting. I didn't know what brand it was going to be with. I was assuming Gourmand Girls, but it just seems like a long time waiting, so I'm so happy for the brand and for Steph for creating such a beautiful palette. This, I mean, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's spring in a palette, you know what I mean? I love it way more than I thought I would, because I knew everyone would create beautiful looks, you know, but for me, I was like, I opened up, I was like, what am I going to do with that? It's so colorful, but I swatched it in monochromatic rose. I really took my time to play with it, and the shades performed amazing. I love the neon orange, this soft purple, this Aurora shade I use as blush too. It's just a beautiful palette. I gravitate towards the mattes more than the shimmers, but the shimmers are so beautiful as well. They're all very, like, they give that wet look. The base isn't like very pigmented. It's very translucent base with strong sparkles. It's stunning. And every time you layer it over a matte, it just transforms the look. So this is like my new shiny toy as far as like a spring palette goes. So this is just the one that I've been playing with the most because it's new, so I'm testing it. Let's start off with my second pick that I wanted to mention. This is like spring, obviously, in a palette right here. This is Pastel Garden from Bella Beauté Bar. I mean, can we just pause and take a second to admire her beauty? It is large. I know. This is the only spring palette I could ever need or want in my collection, and I love it. I open it up all the time, and it just makes me happy. I definitely cannot wait to be reaching for this some more. I still want to test the new Life palette, but then I want to create a few looks with this because I've been itching to play with some spring palettes, some pastels, and this is going to be the one that I play with next. So now I wanted to pick a palette that I didn't even want. At first I was like, oh, I don't need that. Thank God I get to save my money. And then a bunch of people on Instagram made me want to buy it. This is Strawberry Moon. I love the shimmers in here so much. And I know it's a little repetitive with the blues, but like, I don't care. I don't care because some of these peachy tones, the Rose Moon, Lunar Glow, like all the shimmers, they have my heart. So I don't even care that some of them are a little repetitive because they are still so beautiful. And the mattes, they pair beautifully with one another. And if you just, I don't know, this palette right here, it's 10 out of 10. I love it so much. I hated that it's out of stock right now, but I know they're going to be launching it or relaunching it, however, with oh, is it a mirror or is it magnetic? I don't know about the mirror, but I think that it is going to have magnetic pan, so that's awesome. I love that for all of you who are going to buy that in the future because I love magnetic palettes. It makes all the difference as far as creativity goes, rearranging your palettes, mixing them up. So I'm very excited to see them launching, let's see, that one in Flower Moon, just adding, you know, bettering the brand. Okay, next I wanted to mention Adept Cosmetics Seahorse palette, and it's so funny because whenever I first got this, I was so unsure because Adept Cosmetics, they are so pigmented and sparkly and shifty, and this one was a little bit more toned down, but still the sparkly, the shifty tones, they're so beautiful. It's like pastels, but like iridescence and some that are pigmented. This is just like the nice mix, and I have really grown to love this palette, and it is just, it's gorgeous. You know, it's a palette full of special shades, and then I love the packaging. I love it so much. My husband has a saltwater tank, and I'm begging him to get like a little bitty baby Seahorse that, like, they stay little bitty, some of them. I just love this palette so much, and I cannot wait to I cannot wait to reach for this more because now I'm in like the pastel mood. Next we have got Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is the Sugar and Grunge palette. I love the theming. I love everything about this palette. The color story. The shimmers are not my favorite. I love this palette for the mattes. That's the reason why I wanted to mention it in for today's video, because like, look at these mattes. This is spring with some of like more, I would just say, wearable shades, grungy shades. For me, is this like a pastel palette, like straight through and through? No, but I don't know, I just really admire that we get some shades to really ground the palette and make it user friendly. And this is, I believe, my only palette from Blend Bunny. I can't wait to see what they come out with. I bet they're going to have, I think they're going to come out with a neon palette, but like, who knows? I feel like that they're going to come out with a neon palette. I don't know why I've been saying that for so long. Surely, like, eventually they will. Let's switch it up and let's throw in a Natasha Denona palette. This is a trio chrome palette. however you say it. This is like a grungy pastels, very, very unique. I reach for this so often whenever it comes to like the spring and summertime. The shimmers, and I'm not trying to get you excited about the shimmers. If you have this palette in your collection, pull it out and use it. The mattes are so delicious. I forgot to mention the very beginning of the video, this is not a video to make you feel the need or pressure to buy new palettes. As you can see, a lot of these palettes are not new. I just reached into my collection, shot my stash, that way I could have a stack of spring inspired palettes to use all spring. So I want you to do the same thing. Go in your collection, wipe the dust off, and play with some palettes that you have not been looking at for some time, because I never want you to feel pressure to buy a new palette. I just want to make you inspired to reach into your collection and use some palettes that you once loved. Next, let's talk about a Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is a Fairy Tale Fairies. I mean, this one's iconic. If you have this baby, pull it out. It's so, so beautiful. And even with time and time, as the years go on, it is still such an amazing formula. I'm just so excited. I want to put this at the very tippity top of my pile to use. That palette, it's like those shimmers, especially the greens in there. They are just so beautiful. Next, this is, oh no, we have some more indie brands. This is Glaminatrix Cosmetics Pretty in Pastels, a newer palette to my collection. I feel like Glaminatrix, they have a way with making beautiful color stories, and this is just none other than a beautiful pastel palette with some deeper shades in here to really tie in the looks and really ground your palettes. The shimmers in here, you have some special shimmers, some just like beautiful iridescence. I don't know, everything about this palette I'm really enjoying. I will say, if I had like one critique, these two are pretty similar. I actually, in my review, I put them on each eye so you could really see, like, they look pretty much similar on the eyes, but this is one that I'm just feel inspired to play with. Next, let's mix it up a bit. Let's bring out a Pat McGrath palette. This is Utopian Dream, and I feel like I have video every time I do a Pat McGrath, like, or every time I do a ranking or like a top 10, this and that, and I have a Pat McGrath, I'm like, oh, another pink palette, because they're all pink. You know what I mean? This is a stunner. Is it like screaming spring? No, but for me it is. As a neutral lover, this is like a very intense spark. Like, these right here are so sparkly and beautiful. This one is shifty. I like how we have some more soft pinks to really tie in the palette. I love it. And this is a weapon. You could knock someone out with this, you know what I mean? Now we have 4 left to talk about. This is the Pastel Dreams palette. This is from Give Me Glow. I want to pop up a picture. I actually take this palette apart whenever I'm not like including it in like videos like this, like palette videos, because I love using this palette for blush. I don't know. I don't have a purple blush in my collection. I feel like, was it last year when purple blushes were like everyone and their mama had one? So I just reach in for these mattes here and I pop it in my little palette, and I have a cute blush palette. But the shimmers in here are so beautiful. These are really, really light pastels. And whenever I reach for pastels, typically I will reach for some of these other palettes that have some of the deeper shades in here to really tie it in. So I like this palette. If you have it in your collection, maybe pull it out, use it, see if you still love it. So the next 3, so those were my top 10, but these next 3 are extra special because I know a lot of people who are subscribed to me love their neutral shades just like me, and these are spring palettes like with a neutral twist. So first, I have to mention Muse from Cosmic Rushes. Y'all were probably like waiting, like, okay, Brittany, where's Muse? Well, she's right here. I wanted to save these 3 palettes for last, so if my neutral lovers are still here and you have some of these palettes in your collection, pull them out, dip into some color. Y'all know, like, she's iconic. I love Muse so much, and as you know, time goes on, it's still aging beautiful. I use it like, oh my Lanta, everything's falling. Okay, I saved it. What was I saying? I use it probably once a week. That's how much I love it. And What's Up Beauty. This is a Dragon Eye palette. These pans are magnetic, so I actually mixed mine up a little bit. I took the pink out, I added this yellow. I just kind of customized mine, but I'll pop up a picture of like the OG Dragon Eye palette because I have some of their other palettes in my collection. Use it. Get it out, use it. I don't care if it's spring, I don't care if it's winter. Use it. Use it, baby, because she's so beautiful. Anyways, I use that one, kind of like that and Muse. I just keep them on my desk because I'm using them weekly. Next, I saved this most special one for last. This is Tiny Marvels from Sydney Grace in collaboration with Mel Thompson. Y'all, one of my shades cracked and I was like freaking out, but it's okay. The whole shade didn't crack, but this one, it's so soft and elegant and beautiful. If you got it in your collection, pull it out and use her, because I mean, talk about neutral with like a spring twist in here, and then like the packaging, it's so special. I never want to use it, but like we need to use our palette, you know. It's so special. But anyways, guys, those are like my top 10, like top 13 spring palettes that I would say get in your collection. See if you have them in there. Please let me know down below some palettes in your collection that give you spring vibes that you want to pull out. You can also just get a very neutral palette and just pop into some of these pastels for a fun pop. But that's going to do it for today's video wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.